Isaiah 62, verse 4. Thou, the 12 tribes of Israel, shalt no more be termed forsaken, neither shall thy land any more be termed desolate. This is talking about both the Israelites themselves, which is termed forsaken, and the land of the Israelites, which is termed desolate. But thou, the 12 tribes of Israel, shalt be called Hephzibah. The Israelites themselves are going to be called Hephzibah, and thy land, Beulah. So the land of the Israelites is going to be called Beulah, but the Israelites themselves will be called Hephzibah. For the Most High delighteth in thee, the 12 tribes of Israel, and thy land, the land that the Israelites will inherit, shall be married, shall be inhabited. So in Isaiah 62, verse 4, this is what's going on, Israelites. In the kingdom, the 12 tribes of Israel shall be called Hephzibah. And the meaning of Hephzibah is the Most High delighteth in the 12 tribes of Israel. And again, in the kingdom, the land of the Israelites shall be called Beulah. And the meaning of Beulah is thy land, the land of the Israelites, shall be married, shall be inhabited. So to the 12 tribes of Israel, I put forth this question. If the Israelites right now is termed forsaken and the land of the Israelites is desolate, when the Israelite kingdom begins and the Israelites themselves, the 12 tribes of Israel, is called Hephzibah, the Most High delighteth in the 12 tribes of Israel. And the inherited land of the Israelites is called Beulah. The inherited land of the Israelites shall be inhabited. If the Israelites themselves are called Hephzibah, and the inherited land of the Israelites is called Beulah, then where, Israelites, where on the earth is Hephzibah and Beulah located? Because according to Isaiah 62, verse 4, if we can find Hephzibah, which is referencing the Israelites themselves, and Beulah, which represents the inherited land of the 12 tribes of Israel, if we as Israelites can find Hephzibah, which represents us, and Beulah, which represents our inherited land on the earth, then we have found our inherited land. So to the 12 tribes of Israel, I ask you a question. Where on the earth is Hephzibah and Beulah? Now this, Israelites, is the southernmost portion of South Africa. And in the southernmost portion of South Africa, we have Great Namaqualand and Little Namaqualand. And between Great Namaqualand and Little Namaqualand, we have the city of Jerusalem. And from the city of Jerusalem in South Africa to the east, we have Hephzibah in South Africa with the city of Jerusalem. Now, all of this, Jerusalem in South Africa and Hephzibah in South Africa, is located in the areas of Great Namaqualand and Little Namaqualand. And with this understanding that Namaqualand is a point of origin for the city of Jerusalem in South Africa and Hephzibah also in South Africa, we understand that when we locate Namaqualand in South Africa, Namibia borders Namaqualand. In another look at the southernmost portion of South Africa, we have Namaqualand as an identifier of the location of Jerusalem. And Jerusalem would be in this area right here. And Hephzibah would be in this area right here. So Jerusalem in this area and Hephzibah in this area. And this area right here would be Namibia. So if we go to any map and we locate Namibia, that would tell us Namibia would be an identifying marker on any map for Namaqualand. And Namaqualand identifies Jerusalem in South Africa. And Jerusalem identifies Hephzibah in South Africa. At the southernmost portion of South Africa, which borders Namibia, and with the understanding we have located Hephzibah in this area right here in South Africa, we also have Beulah in South Africa. Now, Beulah is identified in South Africa right here. So if we zoom in on Beulah in South Africa right here, we should find Beulah at this identifying mark. As we zoom in on South Africa, we identify Namibia right here, which in turn identifies Namaqualand in this area. We also have as identifying markers Botswana next to Namibia and Lesotho, which is nearby Beulah. As we zoom in further, we still have Lesotho near Beulah. As we continue to zoom in South Africa with one more click of the mouse, we have Beulah, South Africa. There it is right there, Israel. Beulah, South Africa. Now, as we zoom out of Beulah, South Africa, we get a full picture of Beulah in South Africa. And there it is, Beulah, not too far from Lesotho. So with everything we've learned thus far, Israelites, we learned that Jerusalem is in Namaqualand, which borders Namibia. And not too far from Jerusalem is Hephzibah. And not too far from Hephzibah is Beulah, which takes us back to Isaiah 62, verse 4. But thou, the 12 tribes of Israel, shalt be called Hephzibah, and thy land, the land of the 12 tribes of Israel, Beulah. Therefore, Israelites, the lands of Hephzibah and Beulah identifies South Africa, all of South Africa, as the land of our inheritance. We inherit all of South Africa, all of it. Also notice, Israelites, that Beulah is on the same land as Hephzibah in South Africa, which verifies Isaiah 62, verse 4. Not only do we inherit all of South Africa, we also inherit all of Central Africa as well, and the eastern border of all of South Africa to the southernmost tip, and the western border of all of South Africa and West Africa as well, which covers all of this area right here, which is dealing with West Africa, Central Africa, East Africa, and all of the entire borders of South Africa going into West Africa, which covers all of this area from West Africa to Central Africa to the borders of East Africa and all the entire borders of the eastern coast of South Africa to the southernmost tip, all the way up the entire western coast of South Africa, back up to West Africa, back into Central Africa. And this, Israelites, is why the Israelites were scattered to the nations from the west coast of Africa and Central Africa and the entire eastern border of South Africa and the entire western border of South Africa, back up into the western border of West Africa, back to Central Africa. So to the 12 tribes of Israel, the reason the Israelites were scattered to all the nations of the Gentiles from this area right here, all up and down the east and west coast of Africa, is because Africa is our inherited land. We were shipped out to the nations from Africa, and the Most High will gather us as a nation back to Africa, because Africa is the land of our inheritance. We understand that Africa is the land of our inheritance because Hephzibah and Beulah identifies Africa as the land of Israelite inheritance.